everyone. This is Paola from Creating Purpose with Paola, and I welcome you to the Spanglish World Network and Her Network on Zingo TV channels 250 and 251. Remember to download Zingo TV app on the respective app stores. The app is totally free, and you can find it in Google Chromecast and Amazon Fire TV Stick, Roku Stick, and all smart TVs from 2016 and forward. Welcome, everyone. Today in the house, I have an awesome friend. His name is Marcus Weiss. He is a neuroencoding specialist and much more. So today, he's going to be talking with us about how to overcome stress, the overwhelm of life, anxiety, and how to bring joy into our lives. So welcome and thank you, Marcus.
Ah, thank you, Paola. Thank you so much for having me. It is nothing but an honor and a privilege. And thank you for mentioning that I am so much more. And may I take this moment to remind everybody who's listening or watching, you too are so much more than what defines you in this moment, what you think defines you. Like you are more than your hair. Clearly, you are more than your bracelets. You're more than your clothes. You are more than what you say. You're more than what you do every day. You're more. You're this in there, and that's unlimited. Thank you so much, Paola. Appreciate
You're so welcome. And tell our beautiful audience, why neuroencoding? Why a, public speaker?
it. For me, why neuroencoding? Okay, because
Yes.
neuroencoding works. Neuroencoding works. And for me, neuroencoding came at a time when I didn't realize how not on top of my life I was, that how I did not own my existence, how I was still this guy, I still had these moments, but life, like you said, stress, overwhelm, procrastination, it pulled me down. And sometimes I got over it, sometimes I got through it, and a lot of the times I did not. And I didn't think that there was things that I could do. It was as if I wanted to have stronger muscles and I didn't know that there was a gym to go to. It was as if some days I felt strong. It was like, ooh, I'm getting through this problem. But I had no idea really how I was doing that. And before I knew it, the times when I wasn't getting over stress just pulled me down. And I was this guy in private. I was just managing to get it through the day, and I would just collapse at night, and I couldn't wait to go to sleep. And every day when I opened my eyes, I was like, "Oh no, not again!" Because I saw all the stress and overwhelm ahead of me, and I didn't think there was anything I could do. For when this stuff hit me. And so neuroencoding truly gave me the tools and it gave to apply. It was my gym and I got stronger. And then when I feel what with lack of a better word, and when I just feel I need it, I grab something and then I do the things. And it's the things that I do that get me to a place of the energy. And so yeah, so why neuroencoding? And what was the second thing? Why what else?
I'm thinking how many of our beautiful audience might be just managing the day to go through because they see what's ahead and it's stressful and overwhelming just thinking about what's coming,
Mhm.
and they're just living through it instead of bringing the joy, enjoying the moment, breathing, enjoying
Right.
each other's company, like being present.
Oh man, present? I had no idea. And here's the exactly like this moment when we laugh with each other, or sometimes even when we release and we cry sometimes together, or we share vulnerability. Those are both ways to be really present. And so many of us, you know, listeners out there now, and myself included sometimes, we're stuck in the past or we're afraid of the future. And the future could be an hour from now or 2 hours from now. It can be any of that. And so often we're stuck in that. But to be present, I believe, is to enjoy life. To be present is to be in a sense of joy. And for some people, it's a breath. For some people, it's a sense of, I'm doing this. For some people, it's let's go, and they jump out, and they do paragliding, or and sometimes it's just hugging a person or hugging a tree. But I think
How
it's really important.
Yeah, how long did it take you for
Mhm.
you to be like, okay, this is enough? The stress and the overwhelm, it's enough. Did it take you to have neuroencoding into your life, or there was another situation that allowed you to make the decision?
So for me, I got help. There was somebody who was ahead of me in
Mhm.
this kind of, let's call it work, or let's call it whatever it is, sort of
Our
in
voyage, our journey.
in the voyage, right?
Yes.
In the voyage, the journey is our whole lives. The voyage is has a beginning, a middle, and an exciting end, after which we've grown. So this person happened to be my wife, and she had known me for many, many years. We have been together for 20 years, married for almost 17. And she recognized that perhaps I would benefit from something. Meanwhile, she was just living it. She was living it, not neuroencoding specifically, but an inner journey. And she kind of nudged me. She kind of gently pushed me into an online challenge, right? And I was on a screen just like this one, experiencing something just like some of our viewers might be in this at this time. And what happened was that the people on the other side, the mentors, the guides, the speakers, whatever it was, they got me to do some things in the moment, right? In the moment, even just thinking about it makes me do this. They got me in the moment. I know it sounds ridiculous, but what's more ridiculous, staying stuck in overwhelm or doing something that makes you feel more energized, that makes you look up, chin up, look forward to something. So all of a sudden, I was up and about. I was jumping up and down like popcorn kernels in a pot in the little screen. I was bouncing up and down, and I felt better. And the person on the other side, the mentor, the guide, the coach, what they shared with me is, hey, you feel a certain way, Marcus. I mean, they were talking to lots of people. And you did that. What did you do to get you to that place where you go, huh, I can do this, or I'm looking forward to tomorrow, or I feel better in here, huh, I just washed the dishes with a smile on my face, huh, I got off the couch, or whatever. And that's new to me. But what's even newer was I had something to do with it, that I did something, I did a process. So first, they guided me. First, they made me do it, and all of a sudden, I was doing it. Then they were like, "Aha! Now check this out. You feel a certain way. This is what you did. Check it out." I'm like, "I did," and then we would do something again, and I was like, "I feel like this again." So for me, Paola, it was somebody else recognizing, and just being this light in my life, and me going like, my wife is a light in my life. And if she recommends something and that's done that for her, maybe there's something in it. There was an acknowledgement that I was not doing well. I was waking up every morning stressed. And there was an acknowledgement. I saw that, she has a smile on her face.
Mm.
And then I was like, hmm, she's saying, watch this thing. Hmm. So at first, it was just a little tiny, it was a pull.
Mm.
into the future. It was a pull towards what I saw was possible.
And you got to play full out. That's what I
Yes.
got out of it. When you're like you play full out, you participated, you did
Yes.
every exercise. Probably they
Yes.
make you jump up and down, and you
Jump up
play
and down.
full out. And when we
Yes.
play full out, you
Yes.
know, we get the energy. We get to see what we're looking for. We begin to see the view better versus like here's I did that. Like you play full out and you feel, oh, I did that. It's like I
Right.
got up. You know,
Right.
I
Right.
did versus stress and overwhelm, which leads to anxiety. Sounds like to me sometimes, right? Like
Right.
being in a stressful, like Sunday. Sometimes I don't know if any moms out there that work through the week and it's Sunday evening. You're like already get the anxiety of like, how's this week gonna go? What do I have to do?
What do I have? Right. What do I have to do?
Yes, yes.
And then, Paola, what you said was so genius. You did that. You said you when you do the things, you play full out, you feel a certain way, and you look back and you say, I did that, right?
Yeah.
Versus the stress and overwhelm, okay? And then you feel a certain way, and you look back at your day or you look back at the week, and then you look back and you say, that happened to me. You don't go, I did that. You go, all this stuff that happened to me and all the stuff that's going to happen to me again next week, all the things I have to do, the things, and maybe some of us feel that way. I know I did.
Yeah.
So instead of being in a place where you feel better, or you feel more empowered, or you feel more at peace, or you feel more love in your life, and you go, I did that, and I did that together with other people, and I feel this way as a result of the activities I did, as a result of the choices I made, as a result
Mhm.
of the things I did on purpose. And I believe when we do things on purpose, we are in purpose. So for
Ooh.
those of you out there, and I say this from my heart to yours, who've been searching for your purpose, because I spent decades going, what's my purpose? Try doing things on purpose. The things that you choose to do on purpose, that 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 you hope, that you have faith, that you perhaps have a vision, will make you feel better, will help others feel better. And you do those things and you repeatedly do those things. All of a sudden, may I suggest you're in purpose. That is your purpose. It's a way of creating purpose in your life rather than searching for it. It's this sense of, wait a minute, that feels good. Other people feel good.
Hmm.
Other people are moving and growing and loving more, and I am too.
You
Be it.
One thing that's coming to my mind is like when you say you're like, oh, I did that. When you were able to see that you play full out, that you feel much better, that I bet your head was clear, right? So that's just a small example that how we can become our own leaders,
Yeah.
right? And whenever we become our own leaders, then we designed each moment, you know, and it's not that it's what happened to me, but how you react to what's happening, right? To the situation. Because we all have a choice to play full out and get the energy and get the purpose, or we could go back to that state of being stressed out, overwhelmed, anxiety. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because, like Marcus, I've been able to step from that stress, overwhelm, and anxiety into a field of where I choose to play full out. I choose to determine if the moment is great, or if it happened to me is like, no, 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 no. It happened to me for a reason. And I'm here to learn, and I choose to grow and live with purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that you say about, leading ourselves. There are those of us who choose to believe that the first person to lead is yourself. Is that, and for those of you out there who are listening or watching or both, who are leaders, you may know this very well. That if you cannot lead yourself, it's going to be very difficult to lead other people. And and part of it is just that, to know what it takes to lead yourself. Like, what does that mean? How
Mm.
it means that, how leaders go, like, they look forward, they can see, and they might be afraid, but they do it anyway because they're brave. And if they're a leader, they go, guys, I see the future. Yes, it's going to be hard, and we're going to do it anyway. I mean, I come from an actor director background, so I often, I get into it. But it's that kind of a thing. It has to do with, right, the leader literally is in the front
Yeah.
and choosing to move forward, like an icebreaker going through ice, right? That's difficult. Or at the front of a ship saying, let's go, or at the front of a charge, or like, I'm using very extreme metaphors to sort of. But a leader is also a parent, a mother, or a father, or a leader in a leader in a relationship, because sometimes it takes that person to look forward into an uncertain world,
Yeah.
because that's the way life is, man. And if, excuse me, everybody, if anybody out there can tell the future, please direct message me immediately, because together we can make billions of dollars. Nobody knows the future,
Yeah.
and nobody does. And
And
yet,
we're all afraid, and
yes,
we experience fear, but with strategies and technique, we become fearless.
become fearless because we fear less.
Yes,
Because we
we
fear
fear
less.
less. When we play
Yes.
full out, we fear less.
We fear less. And the less we fear, or the less we get over fear or through fear by just doing it, by leading ourselves and going, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. The more we experience, you know what? Hey, I'm still here. I can't believe I just did that. And then we're tempted to go, I can't believe I did that. But check it out. You did do it. You better believe you did that. And then you take credit for it and you celebrate the fact that you did that. That's what we do in neuroencoding, right, Paola?
Yes. Have you share with us a
Yes.
story where you were afraid to do something, but you stepped and did it anyways?
Mhm. Oh my goodness, where I was afraid to do something, and then, okay. Um Everybody, this should I do it? Should I do this? Yeah, you know what? I'll take a neuroencoding example, okay?
Okay.
I'll take a neuroencoding example. And there's lots of examples because it happens every day. The reason it took me a second is because, I have lots of stories. Every day I'm afraid to do something and I do it anyway. So I was applying to be a speaker at the recent neuroencoding conference. And it was an application process that was difficult, and it was in some ways competitive, in the sense, or at least I thought it was, in the sense where a lot of people were seeking to get the honor and the privilege to speak at the conference. Only 3 people out of all of the participants spoke on the neuroencoding stage in Atlanta, Georgia, recently. And I submitted a video. I was required to submit a video. And I didn't realize how afraid I was. Even I've done thousands of live Facebook videos. I'm a performer. I've performed in front of tens of thousands of people in arenas, okay? And here I was, needing to do a video about why I wanted to speak. Why I wanted to speak. And I thought, I'm going to do something really clever. I'm going to do this and this structure and everything like that. I'm going to do this structure. And I did not one, not two, Paola, but I did 90 takes. 90. 90. And most of the takes were this. I would sit there, and before I press the button, me, who I'm a coach. I'm an inspirational, motivational speaker with, you know,
You're an
all,
artist.
and an artist. And I was sitting there going like this. I was about to hit the button, and I would go like this. And then I would press the button, and I would immediately go, and I would stop. Sometimes I would get 3 sentences in and I would stop. So clearly I was afraid of something. And what I realized is like, wait a minute, I'm doing this structure because I'm afraid if I don't, I'm not going to get it. I wanted so much, but that want of this thing was hooked to what I was afraid of. So really, I was focused on what I didn't want, which was I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to not get it. And then I literally went like this, Paola. I sat there, I took a deep breath. I put a smile on my face. I took the tool from neuroencoding. I looked down and I said to myself, what do I want? And that was to serve the people. That was to touch the people. Okay? Is that my truth? And I looked down because that puts you in your heart. And that felt right because I thought that thought, felt that feeling. And then I did the thing with my body that to do the thing. And I pressed the button. One take. One take. But the thing that got me, so that tool and then that pressing, that was not the I'm afraid and I did it anyway part. The thing that where I was afraid and I did it anyway was this. Was when I was in the middle of, even for me, anxiety, because we all have moments. The thing that I did anyway was trusting the process of neuroencoding. Mm-hmm. I was afraid of taking a deep breath and actually facing what am I afraid of. And then I did it, and then because for those 90 takes, I was really not so much afraid. What I was really afraid of was trusting the process, was trusting my own feelings. And so the moment where I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway, was I'm going to do the technique. I'm going to trust the technique. Take a deep breath. Boom. That's if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Trust, yes. So having faith, trusting,
yeah, trusting
the process.
Trusting the process was my getting over the fear. And then may I tell one more quick story? And it's much
yes,
quicker.
Please.
And this is, I'm not giving any financial advice here. I'm not getting any financial advice. But I made a financial decision, a certain investment decision that I was terrified to make. Terrified because it involved an investment that was risky, a risky financial investment. And I, frankly, you could say I'm in no position to make risky investments but it was an investment in myself. Because an investment in myself was an investment in my well-being, which would make me show up better. And that's what I did. And seriously, Paola, I was terrified. And guess what? I did it anyway. And here I am. And now the thing is this. First of all, I overcame fear and I made the investment. Now, guess what I get to do? Every time I look at the number of what I invested, I still have moments of fear. But then I have the opportunity to keep getting over it and going like, nope, Marcus, you did that. Now you're going to keep stepping up. You're going to keep stepping up and keep investing in yourself because you got to remember you did that. So I gave myself the gift of still having that challenge in front of me because it's an investment that I now I gotta frankly pay it back. I gotta, pay it back. I gotta make it worth I gotta make it worth the investment.
Yes, yeah.
So that was another story that I did. And then frankly, every day when you feel nervous, every day when you feel a little stressed, every day when you feel a little hesitation, that's fear. Yeah. So I think all of us are overcoming fear. So sorry about I guess I could tell lots of stories because we all go through it.
Yes. And I mean, it's beautiful that you're sharing because he got the part. He was able to talk at the, neuroencoding conference. You got what you were applying for. And it was amazing.
Oh, thank you, Paola. Oh, yeah. Isn't that interesting? I didn't even mention that. Yeah, that wasn't even Yeah, I guess perhaps that's the end of the story.
Yeah,
My
you
my
were able
integrity. Yeah.
to benefit, hundreds of people there.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you for that. I find that interesting that I didn't even mention in telling the story just now. I was like, no, the important part was getting through the application process. But yes, the prize was beautiful, and I did. And I think when we are able to live in that fear less state, when we can fear less and get into those and playful out and get into those states of being
Yeah.
where we show up in integrity with when we
Mhm.
and we all know that feeling of what it feels like to be free, what it feels like to flow, what it feels like to call it happy, call it ingratitude, call it energized, call it vitalized, call it brave. When we're in those places and existing and acting from those places, living from those places, I believe we're living in joy. And when we are in that place, I believe it helps us get over obstacles, through challenges, and life shows up differently for us because of it.
Definitely.
Because we're yeah, because we show up with that light, we magnetize things. Things come to us.
When you choose to play full out, that's what comes to my mind. When we choose to play full out, go after that goal that you want, go after the idea that you have, that you might think, oh my goodness, this might be crazy. Some people have beautiful ideas out there, and because of fear they don't take action, and then they know that a year or two later somebody else is putting in action that idea that they had, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
like, oh, I thought of that before, I didn't think it would work.
Yeah, yeah. And in that, yes, they say that as you're thinking about something, somebody's already doing it, or whatever. And that's not to say, there's millions of things you can do. At any moment in time, you can come up with something else.
Yeah.
But and hopefully when we see that happening, Paola, we have the opportunity, I believe, to go we at one way or another, right? We can either go, oh man, I should have done it, and then you're shooting on yourself. Or you can go, I could have done that too, which means yes, and that means you can do that now. You can you, it means that yes, you too could have done that. There's nothing special about that person. They just chose to they were able to make the choice and do the activities to get them there, They planted the tree. The
Yes.
next
And you can do it too, right? I
and
can
you
do
can
it
do it.
too. Yeah,
You
we
can
can
do it.
play the tree. Yeah.
You
Playful
can
out and
play
see
full
what happens.
out and see what happens. They say the best time to plant a tree it was yesterday or 20 years ago,
20
right? Or
years
whatever.
ago. Yeah.
And then the next best time is
Now.
now. I know, man. I know. And and yet many of us don't, right?
Yeah.
We stay on the couch. We're staying on that couch.
It's so
And
much
we know we did.
comfortable.
It's so comfy on that couch. I know you're out there, you're sitting on your couches. You're doing it. You're going like, I just one more Zoom meeting, one more thing. I'm gonna do
One
one
more
more thing,
one more episode.
one more episode, just one more episode. I know we've all done it. Look, I've done it too, man. I've done it too. Every day I do versions of it every day. And I fear less. And I use neuroencoding tools more. So it's not that I never get afraid. It's not that I never procrastinate. It's just that I don't spend as much time there.
I love that you're sharing that.
It's- yeah.
High five, because I am the same. Like it's not that I don't experience that. It's
No,
that whenever I'm aware of it, I'm like, okay, it's my choice.
yeah,
Do I decide to play full out in depression, stress, overwhelm,
yeah,
anxiety, or do I
yeah,
choose to play full out where I'm going to have a beautiful outcome?
yeah,
Then you
yeah.
go.
Because
It's our choice. In reality, we always have a choice.
Yes, yes. And some of us, yeah. And those choices, oftentimes, I believe, Paola, right? And from my experience, those choices involve thoughts, feelings, and actions. Meaning, so as we like to say, may I share this poem?
Yes.
As I think, so I feel. As I feel, I like to do this. So I do. As I do, so I have. And that means in my life. And once you have things, you can also say, as I have, so I give. So because the more you have, the more you can give. And what that poem means to us, and hopefully to listeners out there going forward, is that your thoughts create feelings in you, and your feelings will result in you doing things in your life. And whatever you do adds up to your activities.
Mhm.
And those activities will have a result. And that activity could be sitting on the couch for longer than you might want to, or those activities could lead, you could do activities full out. And um, what's important, and what I think we do in neuroencoding, is we help people default to, that means automatic. What's that, love?
Go ahead, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
I just love the phrase. Go ahead.
Oh, I want you to say it. Say it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
default to our best behavior.
Behaviors, right? Behaviors. And here's the thing, right? With somebody who's out there sitting on a couch, they might go, how do I default to my best behavior? Well, the reason you're there and not doing the things that serve you, or the things that are going to get you really where you want to go, is because there's a thought that's happening, that's leading to a feeling, that's leading to you staying on the couch. And nothing against couches everywhere, by the way, everybody. Uh, so how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you change your thoughts that are, how do you change how you think and how you feel, and your behaviors? And so, and what we like to do, I believe, is that, just like I was sharing my story earlier, is that we get people in not complicated ways, in simple ways, to do things. And then we go, aha, what did you just do? Well, get this. This is what was happening. And we talk about, what are you thinking right now? And all that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Cool.
making our thoughts conscious, right? Like to think, oh, I just, pay attention to the thought. I was like, oh, and then it's like, stop, 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 redirect. What another strategy could we share with our beautiful audience today who might feel that overwhelm of stress and anxiety at times?
Okay. Um, I just learned something today, which is a simple, gentle way of interrupting what might be a pattern in you, a thought pattern, and therefore a feeling pattern and a behavior pattern, and interrupting what might be, let's call it, a knee jerk reaction, or something that's just a habit in you that doesn't serve you. And here it is: wait 3 seconds before doing anything. I'll repeat myself. Wait 3 seconds before doing anything. And that includes answering somebody. That includes, if I'm on stage performing and I'm improvising and I feel like doing this other thing, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, go. 1, 2, 3. Next thing. So it's a way, when you feel that you're about to respond to somebody, you feel angry, you feel stressed, and you're about to go, yeah, but just go 1, 2, 3, and see if you still feel like answering in a certain way. Take 3 seconds. Now, if you want to bump it up, take those 3 seconds to take a breath in, and take a deep breath in when you're counting to three.
Wow.
If you can do that, then do that. Or smile. But see, now the breath in and put a smile on your face, those are two things. If you feel you can do that, even better. Take a deep breath in, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Then see what you're going to do. And by doing, I mean speaking. Doing can be saying something. So the next time you you feel yourself triggered, or you feel yourself anxious, and you're like, whatever it is, just count to three. Or if you're capable of it, count to three and take a deep breath in. If you feel even better, take a deep breath in, count to three, and put a smile on your face. Does that help?
Of course. Hey, as a parent, as a wife, as a daughter, as a teacher,
Yeah,
the techniques have helped me become a better, like serve better, be better mom for my kids.
yeah,
Just show up better, defaulting to our best behavior because we don't want to,
yes,
get out of
right,
our
no, right. And
bag.
yeah, and I don't know if you've talked about the stop technique on here. I don't know if we don't have the time to go through
We
that.
have talked, yeah, we have talked about it, but yeah, please share with
Well,
us.
I don't know if I don't know if sharing about the stop technique, what I just described before is a version essentially of what we like to call the stop technique. So in the meantime, before you count to three, take a deep breath in, put a smile on your face. You can also say the word stop. You can say it, if you can, out loud, okay? Or you can say it to yourself. You can whisper it. You can just go, stop, one, two, three, whatever. Or you can go, stop, boom. Or you can go, stop, smile. And the stop technique is an extension of that. So a stop technique goes a little further. And when we talk about saying the word stop, what does stop do? It stops somebody or something from going in a certain direction. It stops a pattern. It stops a momentum. It's stopping something in its tracks, whatever they might be. And when we talk about it, we're like, well, what we want to stop is unresourceful thinking, and therefore unresourceful feeling or unresourceful acting. Something that doesn't serve us, something that doesn't feel good, something that's not enjoyable. So what do? We say stop and interrupt the pattern by not only saying stop, but changing our physiology, by changing our body. And why do we do that? Have you ever, and Joseph, one of our mentors, loves to talk about how, when you are in the living room, let's say, and you say, oh, I need to write something down. Let me go get a pen in the kitchen. And you get up and you go to the kitchen, and all of a sudden you're in the kitchen and you're like, what did I come in here for? Why did I come into the kitchen? You're not crazy, okay? You're not losing your mind. You've just interrupted the pattern that you were in the living room. What happens is, when you're in the kitchen, you're no longer focused on the same thing. Your body is standing up, you're looking at different things, and you're no longer in the same state. And what happens in that moment is that the reason your brain doesn't know what it's in the kitchen for is because there's a vacuum in your brain. There's like, wait, what's happening? What's going on? And your brain is not only empty, it's a vacuum, ready for things to go inside it, like any vacuum. In nature, when there's a vacuum, it wants to suck something into it. And in that moment, when we don't know what's happening, when we go, what did I come in here for? Why did I just stop myself? We can put something else in there. So the next time you're feeling unresourceful, the next time you're feeling bad, you can stop yourself by saying stop and then standing up. Or if you can't stand up, say stop and shift where you're looking, or shift your body. You can even do it while you're driving, but don't look somewhere else. Just go stop and sit up a little straighter, or go stop and just shift your shoulders a little bit, or go stop and change where your hands are on the steering wheel, just quickly, just a little bit. So then, after you say stop, you've interrupted your pattern. You're no longer focused on the same things. That's when you take a deep breath in. Okay, count to three, put a smile on your face, and then say something good about yourself out loud. Say, I am magnificent, or I am confident, or even I am calm. And then you celebrate a little bit or a lot. You go, pat, 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 or you celebrate.
Yeah.
Just pat, 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 pat on your back. And the reason you do that is because when you celebrate yourself, You feel good about what just happened. You said, yay, that was good. I would love to have some more of that sometime.
And whatever was bothering you, you stopped it.
You
And if
stopped
you
it.
if you continue that habit, then
Yes.
you'll become more conscious to what you're thinking. And then if it's no good, if it's bothering your emotions, then you're like, stop, stop, stop. Because it's not serving you.
Right.
And
It's not
so
serving you. And when you do it over and over again. Now, one of the keys, and I will, we don't have to go into it too long, but is really not to wait until it's actually happening. One of the things is to do this practice on purpose, to actually rehearse it with emotion before those feelings come up, so that your body gets used to doing that when it comes up. We like to call it, kill the dragons while they're still babies. So you can do this at home in the morning, at some point in the day, do it twice a day where you practice
yeah,
on purpose, feeling bad, interrupt the pattern, say stop, stand up if you can, take a deep breath in, put a smile on your face, say, I am magnificent,
yeah,
put something in that vacuum, and then celebrate. So again, feel bad on purpose, interrupt the pattern, feel good by congratulating yourself, and praise yourself at the end.
yeah.
And you do that 10 times in a row, quickly, quickly, quickly. Don't stay in the feeling, practice the interrupting. And when you do that enough, you get used to it. You build that muscle to joy.
And it is an awesome technique where we can begin to heal, heal, like healing.
Yeah, like healing.
Yeah. Uh, how can we bring more joy into our life?
Okay. I like so first I think is acknowledging that joy doesn't always look like this. It doesn't always look like this. I'm just pointing to myself because I know myself. It so stop comparing yourself to 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 others or other things. Um, okay. So first of all, that. Second of all, acknowledge the things that make you feel good. Acknowledge them and seek them out. The first thing is to realize and to give yourself permission to at least recognize the feeling of feeling good. Because some people go like, "Oh, I want to have more joy in my life. I want to." Okay, yes, yes, and yes. And the reason I say joy looks and feels and smells and tastes different often for everyone. So what puts a tiny smile on your face? What feels good to you inside? And then what I would invite people to do is when you recognize that, set the bar low. Let's say let's say I look at this yellow, it's a lot of yellow on me. Let's say I look at this yellow highlighter and a little bit that goes like, that's a bright color. That's not a bad feeling. I'm not going, this is terrible. I'm not like jumping up and down that this is the best color in the whole wide world. I'm just saying that's a nice color. And I'm acknowledging that is actually all right. Look at that thing. And then I want you to make a little, in the beginning when we're practicing joy in our life, make a little fist and go, yes. Okay, remind, yes. So you're hunting for joy. And then when you acknowledge the fact that this actually it's a nice color, maybe colors are nice. Maybe color in general is nice. And the next time you look at this bottle, you go, I wonder, is green nice to me? And if it's not, that's okay. But if it's not, what you're going to do is, you know what? Green's not my thing. I kind of liked yellow. And then all of a sudden you might go, well, I might get a yellow cushion for my futon. And you might start looking at yellow things. And then all of a sudden you might go like, well, what other colors are interesting? So I like to say, because we look around in this world, especially on social media and the internet, and we see a lot of things that look extraordinary. And I don't know about you, Paola, but I spent a lot of time in my life thinking, Until I have that much, I can't be joyous.
Till I finish college, and then life will be good.
And then life will be good. No, you got to find joy. Be
Yeah.
present. First, practice presence and sort of mindfulness, and give yourself credit, please, for feeling good. And guess what? Anybody watching you today or listening, there's you are affirming life. There is something, even if you don't think yet that there's joy in your life, there is. There's a little bit. You're
You're
looking for, you're alive. First
Yeah.
of all, you're alive. Okay, first of all, you're alive, and there's something in you that's enjoying this. There's something that's keeping you here. So acknowledge that. I was like, what? Wait a minute. Can that be joy? Could that be something that's makes you feel good? Yes. And then you say, you know what? I just recognized a little bit of joy in my life. Then make sure to go, I did that. I'm amazing. So whatever.
Yes.
Make sure to and then go, yes. So be a joy hound, everybody. Be a joy hound. Look around. And even if it feels remotely good to you, just a little bit remotely good, say yes. Okay, don't wait until you're on the beach somewhere. Don't wait until you're on a mountaintop. Don't wait until you're parachuting. Don't wait until you got that big house. Don't wait until your kids graduate college. Look at a flower and go, and if you even remotely feel good, even a tiny bit better than you did before you saw the flower, go, yes.
Yeah.
And it'll build from there. That's how you
Yes.
begin to create joy in your life. You find it first, acknowledge it. Then you can start to create it. Then you go, oh, I'm going to go to a flower store so I can go look for flowers. And then you try to sustain it, meaning you go to the flower store every week and get yourself flowers. That's why I like to say I help people find, create, and sustain feelings of joy. Any moment, any day, any life. That's it.
Playful out. Let's
And
playful
people
out.
out.
I enjoy each day in every moment that we can.
That's it, man. That's it, everybody.
Where can we find you? Where can our beautiful audience learn more from you? Where can they find you?
Okay, so not surprisingly, my website is www.themarcusweissexperience.com. You can find me on LinkedIn as Marcus Weiss. On Facebook, I'm Marcus Jacob Weiss. And on Instagram, I'm the Marcus Weiss Experience on Instagram. Okay. So you can find me there. And if you find me there, I'm also happy to share my cell phone number. I won't put it out here into the ether, but those, again, Facebook, Marcus Jacob Weiss, LinkedIn, Marcus Weiss, Instagram, The Marcus Weiss Experience, and www.themarcusweissexperience.com. And I'm coming up with the Joy Experience, which I'm doing, if I may be so bold. It's a 2-week total 5-hour, actually 4 hours with some bonus material online experience where I'll give you more tools to live in joy and therefore enjoy your life even more than you already do. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Please follow him. He is amazing. He brings the joy. He always brings the smile, and his attitude is amazing. It's contagious. Your joy is contagious everywhere you
Thank you
go.
so much. Thank you. Thank you, Paola.
If any of you would like to watch the replay or share the replay with anyone that you think you might benefit, go to my YouTube channel, Paola Guthrie. This show can also be heard in Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out SpanglishWorld.ca for our news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. Blessings, blessings to you all, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.